Hi everyone, this is Miss Jess from the Monroe Street Art Center, and I have an art kit number 6 project for you guys. Our drawing kit. So inside your kit, you guys are going to find a postcard. This is a watercolor postcard that you can hand draw and decorate yourself before you send it to somebody. So this is an example that I came up with. I just drew like a sunset somewhere in the woods, just thinking about like a happy place. And using a few of the materials from my box, I created this. So go ahead and take that out. The next thing you're going to want to use today is your Kneaded Eraser. So this is super fun. I use these a lot for drawing projects. The great thing about them is, yes, they are an eraser, but you can form it and you can mold it to be a certain shape. So for example, I am decorating my next postcard here. On this one, I'm going to do just like a little succulent or cactus plant, and I did a lot of tiny details on this. So the great thing about this is this was super, super helpful because I could pinch it like this to make a really sharp point on my eraser to erase just a certain tiny part of what I drew. So this is really, really helpful. It can also be nice if you're using chalk pastels. These can be helpful for sort of taking some of that pigment off of your paper and making it lighter again. So have fun with these. They're also great just to like fidget with and squish around. If you end up taking off a lot of ink from your paper, you can just mix it up again by folding it up and mixing it all up, and then it just becomes like new again. The more you play with it, obviously, the softer it gets. So have fun and use this for your drawings. I use mine all the time. Some of you might have gotten a little container with yours. If you did, that's awesome. This is a great place to keep your kneaded eraser when you're done using it or done playing with it. It will collect dust and hair and whatever else. So if you didn't get one of these little containers, I'm sorry. But you can keep it in just a plastic baggie or like a mason jar or a little teeny tiny Tupperware will also do. Okay. The other thing you're going to use today is the pencil from your art kit. This is a number 2 HB, so it's sort of your run-of-the-mill pencil. You can use it for absolutely anything. I love this pencil. I use it all the time. And then you're also going to maybe use your permanent marker today if you choose so. And I'm going to use some watercolor paints. These are actually from an art kit, maybe 2 or 3 art kits ago. So if you have some watercolors, you can use those today too. The nice thing about this postcard is that it's sort of a drawing / watercolor paper, so it will hold up if you want to paint on it. Okay, so with your postcard, there's a few things that you should know about it. The big open side that has nothing on it, it could go this direction, right? Seeing as the back of your postcard is sort of oriented this way. The back of it, this is where you write like your personal message. This is where you put the address of the person you want to send it to. This is where you put your stamp. And then this is the side that you get to decorate. I decided to flip mine this way for my second postcard, right? And so do something totally different. You can decide what you want to draw on these. I know Mother's Day is coming up, so if you want to make some kind of a Mother's Day card, you don't have to send it in the mail either. You can just hand it to somebody that you like to, or keep it for yourself, whatever you want to do with it. So for this one, I just used my pencil. It's always a good idea to start with pencil first, right? That way if you make a mistake, you can erase it easier. So what I've done is lightly sketched out, and my eraser helped me several times, but I've lightly sketched out just a little pot of succulents and cactus and stuff. From here, I'm going to go ahead and use my paint. So with my watercolors, I've got a container of water and a paintbrush that I'm going to use. I'm going to show you guys afterwards, so sort of once my paint dries, how I go back in and I use my permanent marker to sort of add details to my painting. It really makes it pop and stand out. This isn't everybody's style, but it's sort of my kind of personal style, so I'll just show you the process that I used to make this one. Okay, so I've got my board ready here, I've got my watercolors ready, my paintbrush, and I'm just going to dive right in. The nice thing about this watercolor tray is that you guys can actually use this clear plastic part to mix your own colors. So for example, I've got a lot of plants in here. I'm probably going to want a few different shades of green. So I'm going to utilize that space to sort of mix up my own green shades. Okay. Now, since this is going to take me a little bit here, I think what I'll do is actually make a time-lapse video. And then I'll bring it back around, and once it's all dry, I'll show you guys at the end I'm gonna use my permanent marker to add those details, okay? Go nice and slow, and again, take your time sketching something out, have fun with this. Explore and just play around with your kneaded eraser for a while before you start. Maybe brainstorm and stretch it around and soften it up, okay? So anyways, I'm just getting started, but I'm gonna make a time lapse and then I'll show you the final steps. All right, you guys, so I finished my painting and it has dried. It looks awesome, but as you can tell, it's a little hard to tell what's what inside of my drawing. So a little trick that I like to do is go back in with my Sharpie and redefine some of those lines, right? So, or like adding details basically on top of my drawing. The paint does have to be dry to do this part, okay? So double, triple, make sure it's totally dry. And then we're gonna use our Sharpie. All right, now for this part, I'm just trying to look for my pencil lines and outline them. It's almost like we're adding like a contour drawing to what we've already done. Okay, I'll hold this up in just a second so you can sort of see my first little plant. Okay, so even just by doing that, do you see how much it makes it pop out from the background? I can really actually tell what it is now as opposed to before where it just kind of looked a little bit blurry to me. So I'll do another one and then I'll hold it up again so you can see what I mean. Lots of different references, by the way, on how to draw succulents and cactuses online. So if you need ideas or if you need a picture to sort of draw from, obviously the internet is a good place to go to. This one I'm doing a little bit different. I'm just drawing little lines across it to make it look like it's a spiky plant. Okay. And I'm just kind of going plant by plant right now. I'll work my way down to these ones. I actually have a whole window full of little succulents and cactuses that look very much like this. And they are super happy right now. I repotted them and they are starting to grow twice as big. Okay, so now I'm working my way across, just adding details. You can kind of see what kind of plants they are. This one, I do not have a plant like this one, but this one's very fun. Alright, so you guys can really take your time with this. Think about maybe who you want to send this to. Is there somebody that could use a pick-me-up right now or could need a little postcard from you saying hello? I know I'll be sending one of these cards to my own mother who lives out of town, and I know she'll appreciate it. So I'm just outlining my last little succulent plant here, and then I'm going to add some designs to the pot that they're in. Maybe I'm just going to draw some like circles down here. Maybe there's like little rocks towards the bottom of my planter. Okay, totally brings it to life. It looks so cute. So now I'm going to do the bottom part, and yeah, the background, you guys, I just got a little carried away. I think I like it still. Let's see here. Make sure you guys can kind of see what I'm working on. Alright, well, I think I like the way this looks. I'll fold it up here so you guys can see my final product. Okay. Awesome. So now I think this is ready to send off. And so is my first one. So have fun with this, you guys. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Share your postcards with us when you're done if you'd like to. Have fun.